He's here! He's here! He's here! Roman Reigns is here!
What is up, guys? I'm Wrestling Fan for Life 98 version 1, and I am here to bring you my WWE SummerSlam 2024 reactions. Reacting to SummerSlam 2024 that took place on this past weekend. And finally, guys, to give you my thoughts about SummerSlam and everything which, went down. Now, as such, this isn't really going to, be a review as far as SummerSlam goes, because it is it's still kind of late to do a review on SummerSlam now that we all basically know what's happened. But I'm just going to basically just give my takes on SummerSlam, though, this year. Just my take on, again, obviously, getting to the main event with Cody versus Solo in the Bloodline Rules match for the undisputed WWE Championship that we're going to discuss. But just again, just pretty much like going over the card, just going over, summarising things, just pretty much, summarising and then that's it. I mean, just pretty much this is me just giving my, takes on SummerSlam 2024, which I know again now it's been like a few days, past now since SummerSlam, and I was going to try to do this video on Wednesday, but then I just found that I needed to have a little bit more extra time. I needed a little bit more time to sort of put this video a little bit together. I needed to sort of have my final kinds of thoughts and just kind of again what I wanted to say in this review, what I wanted to say in this reactions on SummerSlam. But mostly again, a lot of the reviews I've heard about SummerSlam this year have all pretty much been the same. Like a lot of people, obviously again, for obvious reasons, have said that this year's SummerSlam was a very good SummerSlam. And I think I'm in agreement. I think having now I again wasn't able to watch all of SummerSlam when it did happen on Saturday, because on Saturday I only watched the first two matches, and then the next day on Sunday after I had work I was able to then watch the entire rest of SummerSlam, from last weekend. But I mean, yeah, but honestly, guys, I mean, yeah, I'm in agreement though with most of the reviews or most of the positivity that I've seen, with this year's SummerSlam. I think this year's SummerSlam was a really damn good SummerSlam. I think the WWE definitely stepped things up compared to maybe like the last, 2 or 3 SummerSlams. I mean, definitely, I think to me had the most solid card. I think this SummerSlam definitely had the most kind of excitement. I think just for maybe all of these matches. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, you could maybe say that maybe not many people probably cared about Nia Jax versus Bayley. Maybe, again, not everyone would have liked LA Knight versus Logan Paul because of, again, Logan Paul. Maybe, again, Braun Breaker versus Sami, because maybe some people would have thought that, that was predictable, that Braun Breaker was going to beat Sami Zayn. And again, I mean, that's not a spoiler now, because Braun Breaker, did, beat Sami Zayn to become the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. He's captured the Intercontinental Championship from Sami. But honestly, I definitely think that this card was just very solid. I think all of the matches, to me at least, again, they delivered in their own ways. I think they paid off in their own ways. Even again with Nia Jax versus Bayley, although I wasn't again, I didn't obviously again feel, that thrilled when the match ended, with Nia, beating Bayley to become the WWE Women's Champion. But, but still, it still had a few moments, though, in the match, like with Nia and Bayley. And Well, obviously, we'll get to that, as we kind of quickly, just as I quickly give my thoughts here. But I'm just trying to again say that overall, I just felt that this SummerSlam just flowed pretty well. I think all the matches just flowed well. And the show, again, was just under 4 hours long, so I don't think that that's too bad for a SummerSlam in this day and age. I really think, again, if you can try to get a SummerSlam between, 3.5 hours towards under 4 hours, I think that's pretty good. I think that's definitely, not a bad thing, because with recent SummerSlams, they just, again, do seem to go on, just a little bit maybe too long. I mean, sometimes that can be the case, but this SummerSlam, to me, just definitely, didn't feel like that. It just kind of felt like each match, again, was just good. I was, like I said, near enough into all of these matches. Even again, with the opening match, all the way to the main event. And I am going to say, I think this year's SummerSlam, I think, was better. If you compare it to SummerSlam 2023, a year ago, yeah, I think the comparison is that I think this SummerSlam, I think, was better than SummerSlam 2023. And that's just my honest opinion. That's just my honest... That's just my instant reactions that I had at first. And then kind of even more now, now it's been a few days removed now. Now it's been the end of this week now. And it's definitely, again, it's not really changed my views. I do still think this year's SummerSlam was better compared to last year's in a lot of ways. Last year's SummerSlam was not bad, but like I said, the criticism with last year's SummerSlam definitely, again, kind of fell on the main event a little bit, with the Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns tribal combat, match, which, again, I talked about that in my SummerSlam review a year ago, but obviously, yeah, it was a little bit, a little bit of a weird booked match, as we remembered that, and obviously it was all just definitely a little bit, too much kind of interfering by Solo Sikoa, not again sticking to the stipulation where that Jey was meant to, just fight Roman Reigns without anyone from the bloodline, getting involved. And again, that was where you had Jimmy Uso turn on Jey, that was where all that kind of began with Jey and with Jimmy, obviously feuding and that then, starting all that rivalry about a year ago. But I just think, like I said, the main event just didn't feel again, that it kind of was received as well. But I think that this year's main event, I thought wasn't a bad main event. I mean, I definitely thought, yes, okay, we know the big return is what still ultimately, made the main event as good as it was, with Cody versus Solo. But you could at least say that Solo, I think, tried to try putting in an effort. I mean, I think you could definitely say that about Solo. I think Solo was definitely, again, just trying to have that good match, with Cody in the main event. I still think that the main event felt like Cody's weakest, maybe title defense. I mean, I still probably would say that. I still think that it's not as good as the AJ Styles matches. It wasn't quite as good as even the Logan Paul match. Maybe at King and Queen of the Ring, maybe on the same level. Maybe on the same level with the Logan Paul match. But again, but I would definitely say that whilst not being the best sort of title match or the best title defense match that Cody's had in this Undisputed Championship run, again, it was not bad. And I would say that I think this was Solo's best kind of match, so far, since kind of, again, just obviously being, in this situation. But again, when you're working with somebody like Cody, again, that you've got to basically, like, try and, step up. And I think this was kind of the best, match that Solo's had with Cody as well. Because they did obviously, again, have two other, like, matches on Raw, like, last year. And I think maybe one on SmackDown, I'm not sure. But either way, like, this was, like, probably the best match that Solo and Cody could have, again, probably had. So, whilst, again, I'm not trying to say that it was the best match of SummerSlam this year. Like, obviously, I don't think it's going to go down being, like, the best main event, even, again, in SummerSlam history. But like I said, what it makes up for, again, is for, like I said, the huge return that we had with, of course, Roman Reigns, the return of Roman Reigns. That happened at SummerSlam last Saturday. So, and man, again, what a return that was. And ultimately, again, guys, that's why this show, again, just kind of has to get, more talked about, because the return of Roman Reigns, man, it definitely paid off. It definitely all came together really well. The whole kind of return, the way Roman came out, the way that music hit. And okay, yes, it did sound like it was a little bit different, a different type of music they used for Roman Reigns. But yeah, man, it definitely was just it was a moment again to wait for. It was definitely a moment that that was worth to have, like, the 4-month kind of break from Roman Reigns that I think maybe a lot of the fans, wanted to have, from Roman. And, it was just, again, one of the best reactions, one of the loudest reactions that you would have heard, arguably, this year on a PLE event. Definitely in 2024. And like I said, just because that, again, it did feel, again, predictable. We did kind of all assume that Roman was going to make the return here for SummerSlam. I don't care. Like, I don't care what people have said. I don't care the fact that a few people out there have said, oh, maybe Roman should have maybe just left it a few more weeks to have maybe made this return. I think that's, just total, nonsense. I just think that that's absolute garbage or rubbish. Because at the end of the day, without getting that return of Roman Reigns, I think, like, Cody and Solo's match might have still been okay. And, like, it's still, Cody, again, probably still could have retained the Undisputed Championship without needing Roman. But at the same time, again, we had to get the return here for SummerSlam. And, like, I just don't care what anyone says. I think, it just made absolute sense. And like I said, I don't care what if a few other people think that this was too soon for Roman to come back, or that, it shouldn't have quite happened at SummerSlam. It should, like I said before, it's just rubbish. It's garbage. Like that's what a few people have said, online and on the internet. Like not a lot of people, like not that many. But again, you're going to definitely get those few critics out there, those few kind of, fans. But no, this was the best way to bring Roman back. And I just don't care what anyone else has to say. I don't care what many people think. Apart from, again, my subscribers out there who hopefully most of you do kind of agree with me, hopefully, about that, or about Roman's return. But to me, again, the return just came off, really well. Obviously, again, the crowd just popped just extremely well, and it was great. It was just great seeing there Roman coming out of that entrance at SummerSlam, and just being back in the presence, and definitely just again, and then obviously to start this whole kind of feud off with Solo, targeting Solo, giving Solo the Superman punch and then a spear. like I said, it all just came off really well. It came off good. And then he kind of like gives that the little look to Cody as well. A little bit of a look towards Cody. But at the end of the day, again, like Roman obviously does help Cody to still stay as the undisputed WWE champion in the Bloodline Rules match main event from SummerSlam. But yeah, so like I said, now guys, I'm just going to quickly again just go over the results though from SummerSlam. Let's just quickly go over these results. So Liv Morgan, the opening match of the night was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley in a singles match for the Women's World Championship, where where Liv Morgan defeated Rhea Ripley to retain the Women's World Championship, and that was all because of one man, Dominic Mysterio, who finally made the turn. He finally decided to turn on Rhea. And to me, again, I mean, I think this was, again, just another moment on this SummerSlam that just really, again, it paid off well. You know, it definitely had a great reaction. And obviously, to get the heat on Dom. And for me, again, this was up there in terms of, like, when Dom, you know, turned heel on both Rey and Edge at Clash at the Castle, you know, almost 2 years ago. Like, that's how good that this turn... Well, just how good, again, how Dom basically pulled this off with Liv. And how they, again, just kind of turned on... How he, again, basically, you know, got Rhea to win. And then, obviously, afterwards, you know, they're then basically then, you know, Dom goes to make out with Liv a little bit, just to, again, make Rhea that more angry. And, yeah, it was just everything, again, that it needed to be. It was everything that it was supposed to be. If this was going to be, like I said, the plan. If this was going to be what Dirty Dom was going to do to Rhea. That this was, again, this was just, yeah, a lot more heat put on to Dom and to Liv Morgan as well. But definitely, of course, on to Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Now, the match here itself, you know, was not, I don't think, again, not a great match. Maybe a little bit slightly underwhelming with the actual match. But it was still, again, pretty entertaining. It was still quite a good match. I mean, Liv targeted Rhea's bad shoulder in the match, and Rhea at times was trying like to pop her shoulder back in place, which, you know, she tried to do that like twice or even 3 times. She tried to do that, Rhea. So yeah, so that was, you know, that was quite funny to watch, although a little bit weird at the same time. It was kind of like, yeah, it was definitely something to see. But no, but like, it wasn't a bad match. But, you know, Liv, you know, at the start of the match, you know, definitely tried to avoid Rhea. She was definitely trying to kind of be like, you know, more scared of Rhea, more sort of, you know, backing away and just running from Rhea for like the first like 2 minutes of the match. But again, like I said, the match, though, to me, it was just entertaining. I think more than anything, this match just felt entertaining between Liv and Rhea. But like I said, we are going to get more from this Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley feud. And we know that anyway, because after coming out for Monday Night Raw this week as well, for Monday Night Raw, that we do know, again, that there is going to be a lot more going on between Liv, Rhea, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So, again, this is still far from being, you know, completed, or far from being the end to Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. But as I said, it was just, again, this was just, again, about Dom. Finally, again, that he did, you know, turn on Rhea to be again with Liv Morgan. That was the main thing that just basically came out of this match. But again, you know, it had to be done. I mean, maybe some people thought that this was going to happen. Although again, like some people didn't know if this was gonna happen. Like some people still weren't entirely sure. But Dom again did it, and he screwed out Rhea to help Liv and to be with Liv. So there we are. And then the next result of the night was the next match was Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn in a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And as I already said, Bron Breakker defeated Sami Zayn to win the Intercontinental Championship and to knock off Sami. And Sami finally again dropping the Intercontinental Championship after winning the title at WrestleMania 40 over Gunther. But like I said, I mean, this had to happen though. This again was kind of, like I said, it felt like this was going to happen. It did kind of feel like it was going to be a predictable ending. But it was still a pretty badass ending though. Like basically Bron Breakker kind of, he kind of gets out of the way of a haluva kick by Sami. And he ends up again, basically, he gives Sami the running spear, he gives, Sami the spear to put Sami away and to become the new Intercontinental Champion. So, again, this was by far as well, the shortest kind of match of SummerSlam as well. This only lasted for 5 minutes and 40 seconds. But yeah, basically again, this was just to put Bron Breakker over and for him again to learn from the match he had with Sami at Money in the Bank, which we know about. It was just again to make Bron, look like an absolute beast, to make him learn from those, those errors. And the fact again that you can't look past Sami, the fact again that he maybe again just took his eye off the ball with Sami at Money in the Bank. In beating Sami. So, so this again was just really good that Bron Breakker beat Sami. But like I said, let's also again just give Sami credit because I know that some people have been a little bit mixed on this whole kind of Sami Zayn Intercontinental Championship run. But to me, it's been good. I think Sami did a good job with holding the Intercontinental Championship, and this isn't going to be the last match between Bron Breakker and Sami Zayn because these two are having a 2 out of 3 Falls match actually on this week's Monday Night Raw, on the coming week's edition of Monday Night Raw. That's on the 12th of August edition of Monday Night Raw, and I think that's going to be a pretty good match as well. That's going to be really good, even though again Braun is probably going to beat Sami to hold on to the IC Championship again. I don't now see Sami getting the IC Championship back anytime soon again now. But as I've said, I think Sami just needs again to get a little bit of credit. But as I said, I think Sami did do a pretty good job. And I think he had pretty good matches with Chad Gable as well in this, IC Championship run. At, the triple threat match too at King and Queen of the Ring with Bronson Reed. And like I said, with Chad Gable. The Clash at the Castle match with Chad Gable. And obviously, again, Money in the Bank, the match he had with Bron Breakker at Money in the Bank wasn't too bad. But like I said, this was just, again, a pretty short match. But as I said, it was still not bad while it lasted. But again, Bron Breakker still looked, though, just pretty dominant. Just looked to be, just again, having the eye of the tiger, having that drive to beat Sami. And, so he did that, Bron Breakker, and that's kind of it. Sami is no longer the IC champion, and, we go with that. So, the next match then was LA Knight versus Logan Paul in the singles match for the WWE United States Championship. Once again, I thought that, This match, surprisingly, was actually a real good match here between LA Knight and Logan Paul. I think a lot of people have come out and said that. But I thought this match too was also a pleasant, surprising, good match. Surprisingly good match with LA Knight and Logan Paul. This was definitely a more better match, a better singles match that Logan Paul has had. Arguably, you could put this match up there with the match he had with Roman from Crown Jewel, 2 years ago. I think that was like probably Logan Paul's best match, in my opinion. But I think this match could easily be like either number 2 or maybe number 3. Maybe in Logan Paul's top 3 matches. So you give, again, Logan a little bit of credit as well. Because, look, I think Logan, again, did definitely try again to look impressive in this match. He tried to look pretty impressive with pulling off, again, the moonsault the way that he did. That kind of incredible moonsault that he did on LA Knight, which again did get a good reaction, but then people then basically said that you still suck to Logan, so that was funny. But just just what Logan did in this match with LA Knight was just was pretty good, and it's just definitely, again, one of his best singles matches, Logan. But of course, that there was still the whole stuff with the brass knuckles. I mean, again, it had to again be a little bit expected at this point with Logan Paul, and that was again to be the case here. But LA Knight though was able though to kind of, he kind of again fighted it off though with the brass knuckles, because Logan Paul hit LA Knight kind of like on his nose, it seemed like, with the brass knucks. But then LA Knight then was able to counter the buckshot lariat, the buckshot clothesline, and LA Knight gave Logan Paul the BFT, the Blood Force Trauma, and LA Knight pinned Logan Paul 1, 2, 3. And LA Knight, is your new WWE United States Champion. So again, congratulations to LA Knight there as well. Like I said, definitely well deserved. Definitely LA Knight has worked hard to finally kind of have, this type of a moment on the main roster since being there now. And although, again, it's not like winning, the World Championship, but this was, though, good for LA Knight. And the match, again, that he's had here with Logan Paul at SummerSlam was good. Definitely one of the best matches, actually, of SummerSlam, which you could say that. I mean, not many people would argue on that. Not many people would maybe disagree. I don't think it was, but it was, again, right up there. And I think just, again, you have to give credit to Logan Paul for that as well, because I just think, again, Logan Paul did really, again, try to work hard in this match to make it good with LA Knight as well. But so did LA Knight. I think LA Knight also brought his game. I think LA Knight also stepped up a little bit too, just to show that, again, he could have a good, one-on-one match. Because LA Knight's, singles matches aren't that bad. But obviously, like I said, they're not like anything that special either. So this was, again, just a good match for LA Knight. This was just a good match for both of these two between them. And I think, again, that just goes down again to their chemistry, the chemistry which they had coming into this match in terms of, the promo interactions which they had on SmackDown. And I think that's what definitely, probably helped with this match, being good and being the way that it was. And the payoff, again, for LA Knight, winning the United States Championship, winning his first belt, definitely, again, meant a lot for LA Knight and for LA Knight supporters or his fans who have liked LA Knight since, again, day one when he came to, or again, definitely when he came up to the main roster. And obviously when he had the stupid, Max Dupree gimmick and all that. which kind of was a bit of a mess, but there you are. But yeah, so just again, well done to LA Knight and Logan Paul, and there we go with that. The next match then was like I said, Nia Jax versus Bayley in the singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. So I don't have a lot to say about this match, but the one good move, or the one best spot from this match, came when Bayley incredibly was able to lift up the weight of Nia. She lifted up Nia Jax and gave her, like a power bomb. Incredible strength by Bayley there. That was a great move by Bayley. Well, it actually did come off looking really good and making Bayley look like a bit like of a badass when she actually pulled the that kind of power bomb move off. Because again, you got to imagine again that Nia is probably quite heavy. She is probably quite difficult to carry. So I just think that Bayley did really well, just again, to be able to do that, just to even think that a woman like Bayley can just get Nia off her feet. Obviously maybe that they could have like rehearsed the spot, like maybe they had time to maybe rehearse it a little bit, maybe between Nia and Bayley. But Bayley, like I said, just hit it so well. It just came off again being the best thing of this match. But the match again itself, wasn't great. And, Tiffany Stratton does try to run in, and it seems like she's going to tease in to cash the Money in the Bank briefcase. But Bayley, though, did stop Tiffany from being able to actually make it official for her to be a part of the match. So again, it was what it was. But yeah, Bayley, though, like I said, ends up losing, though, the WWE Women's Championship, though, to Nia, because she does kick out of one of Nia's, out of one of those splashes in the corner, not splashes, one of those sit down, the Annihilator. She was able to kick out of one. But then Nia again does two more to Bayley, and that's how Nia, became the new WWE Women's Champion. So as I said, I'm not again feeling all that thrilled that Nia is now the WWE Women's Champion, guys. I mean, I would have again just liked Bayley to have maybe held on a little bit longer. But like I said, it is what it is. I don't have too much to say. But look, I mean, well done to Nia, because obviously this was, again, still quite a big night, for Nia Jax as well. I mean, I can't really try to pretend and kind of say that Nia didn't, again, probably... Well, I'm not saying, again, that she didn't deserve to have this moment. But it's just the fact that I'm not, a huge... I've never really been a huge Nia Jax fan. But, as I said, I was never a huge fan of her in the past or still now. But like I said, you can't maybe argue the fact, though, that, she's worked hard. She's definitely improved herself, a little bit. So... That's all I am going to praise Nia for. That's what I will praise her for. But at the same time, I just, again, don't care too much that Nia is the WWE Women's Champion now over Bayley. I would have much preferred, again, that Bayley could have hanged on being the WWE Women's Champion. But again, it is what it is, and there we are. So, next then, we had Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk then in a singles match. The anticipated Drew McIntyre and CM Punk match. Now, straight away, guys, this was the best match of SummerSlam 2024. And I think like one or two people have actually said that now. Like a few people might have repeated the same as me. But this match just had so much intensity, so much kind of a little bit of tension thrown in as well. And it was great. And that's down to the fact, again, that CM Punk that this was finally the version of CM Punk again who we wanted to get in a WWE match for the first time in like over a decade. A first like singles match, and CM Punk again, you know, did very well, and he looked very good in this match. CM Punk, he was definitely up for it. He definitely again, you know, just got himself into very, very impressive shape, as of course did Drew McIntyre as well. They both again looked very good in this match, like in physical condition wise. So you would definitely say that about both of these two. But yeah, just like everything all over this match was just really good. The execution of it was good. You know, like I said, just CM Punk bringing the fight to Drew McIntyre, not being again afraid to kind of go after Drew. And likewise, you know, Drew again also just again beating down. I mean, Drew kind of, you know, did still kind of dominate CM Punk. You know, after CM Punk had a pretty good start to the match, you know, Drew did then kind of get his time. Well, he did kind of get to, you know, punish CM Punk a little bit as well. But like I said, but CM Punk, though, looked good in this match. So, you know, I will say that. But Drew McIntyre did defeat CM Punk because CM Punk actually took out Seth Rollins with the go to sleep, with the GTS. And then Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore on CM Punk after that. And then Seth Rollins reluctantly counts down the 3 for Drew McIntyre to have defeated CM Punk. And that again, CM Punk loses his first singles match in WWE in over a decade to Drew McIntyre. So, but again, what a win it was for Drew though. I mean, for Drew, it was a good win for him. But like I said, that was only because again, that Seth was basically reluctant to wanting Drew to win the match. But I think Seth just kind of did it because again, of what CM Punk, you know, did to Seth with giving him the go to sleep, the GTS. So it did kind of make sense, but there we are. But this match again, like I said, was just a very, very good match. Now, yes, you know, Seth did have his antics out there. He did, you know, try to get the spotlight a little bit onto him as well. But again, still, the match to me was still, you know, really well received. Really just a very good match. I don't know if I'm going to quite say it was a great match. I mean, maybe I will, but I'm more kind of just going to say this was very good, very impressive. Just again, a fight again with, you know, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, just two fighters wanting again just to beat up each other, like I said, so badly. After again, just months of this, you know, brewing up to get all the way here to SummerSlam. And especially again, just for CM Punk, you know, just for CM Punk as well, to get himself cleared, to have himself being cleared after 5 months with this injury. So you've got to give CM Punk again the credit on that. But there we are. So I was very impressed with this match. And it is going to be my match of the night. The match of the night, I'm giving it to this. To Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. You know, just again, hands down. It did come out being the best match of SummerSlam. At least again, for a lot of people, the majority of the fan base. And definitely just for maybe the live experiences as well. Maybe for the live audience as well. Because CM Punk again was definitely over. He was definitely again getting a lot of CM Punk chants as well. So they loved again seeing CM Punk out there. Like a lot of fans really did show CM Punk a lot of respect. And so it was the type of match again that you wanted for Drew and CM Punk to have at SummerSlam. And again, with Seth being the special guest referee, yes, again, it had its moments, but still, it was good. It was a really good match, really fun, really entertaining. You can't ask for much more with Drew and CM Punk. So yeah. Then after that, we then got Gunther versus Damian Priest then in a singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Gunther became the new World Heavyweight Champion. As Ludwig Kaiser would say it probably better than me. But yeah, Gunther knocks off Damian Priest. All thanks to Finn Balor and the implosion of the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day finally here cracking down at SummerSlam. Or at least again in terms of for both Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, that they are now no longer with the Judgment Day anymore. And Finn Balor, just basically, does make the turn on Damian Priest after he kind of he's been teasing it now for weeks on Monday Night Raw, but this was where that it does happen. So basically, like I said, Damian Priest is about to beat Gunther, but then Finn Balor, gets Gunther's leg over the bottom rope as the ref counts to nearly a 2 count. That Finn Balor gets Gunther's leg onto he gets it over the bottom rope. And, Damian Priest doesn't notice that until he looks on the replay, on the big screen in the stadium, and he turns his head back. He sees that it was Finn Balor. Finn Balor basically looks like some kind of a goblin, and looks like an evil goblin, sort of. He's got just that evil face, that kind of smug sort of a face that definitely again just even showing a bit of a smirky face, and a gremlin even type, or even a golem type face at Damian Priest, and Priest then just goes completely berserk, but he loses his focus on Gunther, and that's how Gunther was able to make Damian Priest pass out by technical submission. And so Gunther becomes the World Heavyweight Champion, and Damian Priest has lost the World Heavyweight Championship after he cashed in to win the World Championship at Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 40. So his reign has come to its end. Gunther's reign has now started. The Gunther era as the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. And we do know that Gunther's first challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship for Bash in Berlin will be Randy Orton. And we're going to get more into that anyway, as we get near to Bash in Berlin. But yeah, so there we go with that. And then lastly, again, the main event with Cody Rhodes and Solo, as I've alluded to. The match I thought, was pretty good. Even again with all the Bloodline kind of stuff. Now, I don't think that this Bloodline Rules match either was the best Bloodline Rules match. I think the one at WrestleMania 40 was a better Bloodline Rules match as well. But as I said, you had Kevin Owens and Randy Orton who came out there to help Cody to get rid of the Tongas, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And then, like I said, Jacob Fatu then comes out as well to take Cody out. And then he gives Cody the big splash through the announce table where he accidentally hurts his foot or bangs on his foot as he comes down onto Cody. So that basically has Jacob kind of out of the situation. And that then does allow for Roman to come in for the big, return of Roman. And instantly again, he's got like a new t-shirt on him as well, Roman. He still again just looks again that he's been in like great shape, Roman. That he has again been getting himself in good shape. And again, he comes down to the ring and he gets in the ring. He then gives the Superman punch to Solo, gives him the spear. Cody then gives Solo a crossroads, and Cody again retained the undisputed WWE Championship. So just, but then like I said, Roman does give Cody, like I said, the stare, a little bit of like a stare, a little bit of just again a nod. Just again, just to kind of use that in there as well. But overall, SummerSlam, goes off the air with Cody Rhodes being the only man from WrestleMania 40 that was able to hold on to his championship as SummerSlam 2024 would end. So that is it, guys. I mean, basically, that's my review there for Money in the Bank for SummerSlam 2024 from Cleveland Browns Stadium. And as I said, everything to me went down well. It all went pretty good. So like I said, guys, if you've got any last thoughts that you would like to share, with SummerSlam this year, I would love again to hear. If you want to again, give any last thoughts. But as I've said, I've given my kind of thoughts now. So lastly, just to say that, we've got Bash in Berlin now. That is going to be in just only over 2 weeks. We've got Friday Night SmackDown tonight. As I said, Roman Reigns is going to be on SmackDown as well for the first time since like March this year. I think since March 2024. So that is going to be a pretty big deal. We know that anyway. Likewise, now, what's going to be the new direction for Cody Rhodes as well now with the undisputed WWE Championship situation. Like I said, we are going to get answers. LA Knight as well. Who could now go after him for the United States Championship. We're going to have to, again, wait to see. We should find out, as I said, when we do get more near to Bash in Berlin. Especially, again, more for Cody at least. So those are just the last few things I wanted to touch on. But yeah, as I said, Randy Orton versus Gunther has been announced for Bash in Berlin. But again, I don't want to kind of give too much of thoughts about that in this video a lot today. So that's going to be saved. But that's it, guys. So like I said, thank you for tuning in to my SummerSlam 2024 reactions or late reactions to it. Thank you once again, guys. Make sure again to like, comment and subscribe to my channel and to like my other videos that have been on my channel. Thank you for your support, guys. The ongoing support. And I'm out.